Hey everybody, first of all, Merry Christmas if you are somebody that celebrates the holiday. But with that being said, I want to welcome you back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, I want to go ahead and get some reminders out of the way. I'm not your financial advisor. We do not ever provide investment advice on this channel. If you are new to the series and somebody, went ahead and made you aware of the series, or, somehow you stumbled upon the channel and the series, thank you for joining. I think you're going to go ahead and find, some value in here. Hopefully, if you're new, I would certainly encourage you to go back to day one of the series, so that you can kind of, get the introductions, and kind of see what the flow, of the content and how we kind of move, throughout the videos that, are concerned. If you're somebody that's returning, again, thank you for continuing to support the channel and continuing to follow along. So what we're going to do, as you can see, I've got all my tabs open. We're going to go ahead and obviously go through some review. And then we're going to head into the filters and see if we can discover any new tokens today, here on the Dexscreener platform, as we always do. So with that being said, here we go. This is one, we didn't talk about this one, through the series yet, but this is one that, as you guys know, I'm always looking through Dexscreener to go ahead and see if I can uncover any new opportunities. So I found this one last night. And, obviously we got a bunch of negatives, right here. But I think I found this one around 80K. And so you can see here with the filters or not with the filters, but with the alerts that I've set, this one, so I'm staying here at 102K. However, that's when I set these alerts, but I actually found this a bit earlier. But I try to go ahead and set the alerts, when I find it, so here in Dexscreener. But either way, still found it a pretty early, market cap. And I wanted it to go ahead and alert me if it went under 50K. Now, it did go ahead and not trigger this one, but it did trigger this one. So when the market cap, went over 150. So, but either way, it did move, from the time that I saw this token. And, looking at the channel, I thought that some of the memes they had going on, looked kind of interesting, so this one just kind of caught my attention, and it became, something that I wanted to watch. I did go ahead and actually post this to the main channel on Crimson's Calls, as far as this token is concerned. So I think it ended up doing somewhere around 160, maybe 170K on the market cap before it retraced, so I'm still kind of curious to see what's going to go on with this one. I don't expect a ton of movement today just because, it's Christmas, so I would anticipate, a lot of people spending time with their families, so I'm not looking at a lot of movement really on any charts today, my personal opinion. But, as always, there are always outliers and whatnot. So, but as you can see, this is kind of what's going on the chart. We're sitting at 105K. And so we can see that's basically here, that 0.00011054. And then you can see up here, this was obviously, high point yesterday for this token. And you can see it's roughly around 175, 176K. We get to the tippy top here. This is showing over 180K. So, and then obviously we've seen that at their higher, highs, they've touched, almost 270K, and then obviously on launch, it was a pretty strong launch candle. So, like I said, I'm curious to see if this one's going to move back up into these higher, levels. I like what I'm seeing in terms of, what I saw on the channel, so even though it's not like, bananas in the channel right now, there seems to be, some steady engagement, in the channel. So just be aware that I'm just putting this on your radar as far as something that I went ahead and looked at yesterday that I thought, looked interesting to me. Whatever you want to do with it is certainly your call. Not saying that it's going to go up, not saying it's going to go down. This is obviously why we set the alerts, so, and I'll adjust, what is it? I want to adjust one of these alerts because this one, obviously was when it went over 150K. So right now it's sitting at 105. I don't know that I need to wait until 150K. I might just go ahead and make this, 125K as far as an indicator for this one. So we'll set that there. And just, here we'll go ahead and put this at 105K. So we'll go ahead and we will reset this alert. So now that one's active again. And then we will adjust this posted market cap to reflect 105 instead of 102. Okay, so there we go. So the alerts are set on that one. So we'll see where this one goes, from here. But obviously, they hit a low point, right here overnight, and then we got some buys that have taken place between here and here. So we'll see where this one goes. All right, so we're going to close this one out. That's done, so we're done with toe. And then this one I'm bringing up because we talked about this, I think it was in either the day 3 or the day 4 video of the series. And this is one where I had mentioned that, when I did the recording, we didn't come across this token, but I just left the window open. And then obviously, as you know, Dexscreener, it auto adjusts, and auto updates. So this is one that, even though the window had stayed, the filters, were open and I had already finished the recording, I came back and saw that this was a token that looked interesting to me, and I checked it out, and it was like, okay, we'll go ahead and keep this one on our radar. Even went on to post this one to the main channel on Crimson's calls, and it ended up doing a 2x, from the time of the post, which was, I believe it was under 80K, and it went to around 150K. Either way, it triggered a 2x, from SPY DeFi's tracking, that it does on that channel. And, I went ahead and I continue to keep this one on my radar, even though the chart, really, really kind of bottomed out. And so, let's see if I can see the alerts that I sent. Okay. So yeah, we're talking like this chart went down to like 17K. And so, when I was adjusting the alert, I said, okay, trigger it, when it goes to, as you can see here, goes over 25K. So it hit 25K and I'm like, okay, I looked at the chart because this is one, that was on my radar yesterday. And so when I looked, I'm like, wow, okay, I guess it's starting to move a little bit. Now, I wasn't sure if it was going to continue to move, but as you can see, looking at the chart, we can't really tell exactly when 17K is, looking at the way they've got these, well, maybe we can. Okay, so yeah, this is right here. 17K was here at the bottom right here. So 1742. And we can see that it's starting to make, let's zoom in a bit, starting to make a bit of an upward climb. We're not seeing any, heavy sells, right here. I think that as people are watching this one, they're seeing this little bit of a curl. Now, obviously, now that Christmas is here, what did I anticipate? I anticipated that you're going to see a lot of that, Christmas token buying activity start to flow into your New Year's tokens. So we're going to start to see more New Year's tokens. So even though, and when this chart bottomed out, like their channel was a mess. People were, there were just a lot of cleanup that needed to take place in the channel. So, and I think they accomplished that, and so now it's starting to look like, okay, they're getting re-engaged in this one and they're trying to go ahead and push this one back up. At least from an optics standpoint, that's what it appears to be. We're going to see what this does. Sometimes with these tokens, when they're at these bottom levels, you get some buy pressure and then people just go ahead and just start selling them off. But there are outliers, there are exceptions, so maybe with this one, it could start to go back up. I don't know. Okay, so keep that in mind. I mentioned this on yesterday's video. This channel never shills you anything, okay? And we never tell you it's gonna go up. We never tell you that it's going to go ahead and make you a bunch of money. Those are things that you will never, and I'm telling you, you'll never hear it on this channel. So no one should be coming into comments complaining about how you said this and it didn't do this, especially when we're talking about an upward trajectory on a chart. So what I do is I tell you what I think, and I always give you the caveats. I always preface it with, maybe it's got a chance to go ahead and do something. Maybe there's a possibility, but I never tell you with absolute certainty that a chart is ever going to go, up and make you money. Never tell you that. So just keep in mind, I'm giving you what I think. It's my best guess, that maybe this will continue to rise. Maybe it won't. But again, the reason why we set these alerts is because they're indicators of what a chart could do. Okay. So, and then it's up to you as to how you want to proceed from, after you've reviewed the content that I have presented you with, in regards to any token. Okay. So, and obviously you're going to see some buys, you're going to see some sells. I mean, there are still people that I firmly believe are in the negative, on this, on this token, that just didn't get out, or, you got a lot of people in crypto that go ahead and they round trip it, so they go ahead and they buy and they don't sell the top, and then they just go ahead and they hold and they hold and they hold to the point that they have, lost, and the value of their bag is basically completely dust, so if you got people that go ahead and start to see this start to move back up, yes, do I expect to see some sells? Do I expect to see some people mitigating their losses? Absolutely. Does that mean that the chart can't still continue to go up? Should it continue to move? And should there continue to be buy pressure? Again, we don't know. We want to see that, hopefully, but we don't know. We still have several days, until New Year's. So there's plenty of time, depending on what happens in the channel, as far as, whether the team or anybody who's behind this continues to try to invest money and time into trying to move the token and help it gain more exposure. So we'll just have to keep an eye on this one. So that's what we'll do. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to close this out. And we're going to close this out. All right. So this is one, again, we talked about this yesterday, I believe. And I was not sure, when we looked at this chart, but I still said that, hey, we'll track it anyway, with the filters or with the alerts. And so this was the alert that we set. And I was more interested in seeing this one go down than seeing it go up. So did this one trigger? Absolutely. It triggered, it went under 175. But what's going on now? We see this is currently at 372, and that wasn't even the high. Okay, so the high we're sitting at, basically over 500. Okay, so with that being said, what's the point of the series? The series, one of the central core points of this series is we want to see if we can discover tokens early, see if we can get some opportunities for gains. Now, I wasn't feeling too crazy, about this token, but we still checked it out yesterday. And I don't remember exactly what I saw on the channel, but I don't think I really saw anything going on that was really pushing this token. So that was one of my, one of the concerns that I had yesterday for it. But either way, out of sheer curiosity, what I tell you guys, I said, let's go ahead and let's set an alert on this one anyway. So, and if you decided to go ahead, because I know some of you may be copying the same alerts that I go ahead and set, and others of you may be just saying, hey, screw that, I'm going to go ahead and set my own. Whatever you want to do is up to you. Okay, I'm just simply placing the alerts for illustrative purposes as we go through this content, and me trying to go ahead and guide you and provide some additional insight for you and education on how I operate and how I do things, and what I may be looking at and so forth. And then for there, you just kind of got to make your own decisions, or like I said, you can copy the same alerts that I'm doing, that I'm making as well. It's all your call. But either way, this one turned out to be one that made some gains, so yeah. So I wanted to highlight that to you to let you know that this one actually did move, from that alert that we set, which was simply, we found this one at 175 or not 175. We found it, I think, at 221, right? So 221, and it dipped under 175. Now let's see here. If this is 3, this is 180. Okay. So, and 170s right here. So obviously it was around this area. And then you can see that it just continued to move from there. So, all right, so this one turned out to not be so bad. So with that being said, this is Thera. We've been talking about this one for a couple of days. And let's see, looking at the alert that we set on this one, we set it at, did we set this one at 353? Yep, so we set this one at no, this was earlier. Originally, I think we found this one like 336 when I went back to the video, because I went back to check. And so obviously maybe we updated this alert to 353, but either way, both of these triggered. Okay, now the point why I'm bringing this up to you, even though it's showing a current market cap of 388, is because when we set this alert, it was before this. It was before this. So we set this, somewhere around here. Okay, this took off to over 8. This hit almost 900K, since the alert. So if you're somebody that was following this alert that was set originally on this token, this one actually did it did make some gains, definitely over a 2x. I think it needed to still, make some moves before it got to a 3. But either way, this one is one that continues to be an interesting one to watch, because I think there may be a possibility for this one to still take off again. I don't consider this one to really be a run, but I do consider this one to be a run. So I think there's a possibility that this could move again. But again, this is why we're watching it, right? So for this one, right now it's sitting at 388. Let's take a look here. I'm going to reset this one for if it goes under 300. All right, so that might be a good opportunity, maybe. I don't know. And for this one, for over, I'd say let's go ahead and let's change this. We'll make it a small deviation. Let's go to 400. Okay, on this one. What was that? 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to make this 400. And yeah, we do need to update this posted one. So 388K. All right, so there's that. So small deviation. We just want to get an indicator as to whether it's going to be moving or not. And then this one we're updating to 388. All right, so there's that. Okay, so we're good there. So we're going to close this one out. And we're looking, okay, so I already showed you the screen grab there. And then X cookie is one that we had talked about. And I don't remember on this one. Let me see if I still had an alert for this one. I'm going to pause it real quick. Okay, so I did find that I still had this among my alerts. So here we go. And we can see that this one, so this chart obviously is bottomed out now because you can see heavy, 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 retracement and minuses, here in this informational area. But the reason why I bring this up is because we saw this originally at 132K. That was the posted market cap for this. You know where this went to? This touched over 1 million, almost 1.2 million. So we found this originally at 132K. It went on to almost 1.2 million. So if you're somebody that copied this alert, if you're somebody that, decided to follow what was going on with X cookie, it took off, so we're talking almost a 10x, on this one. So again, another prime example of what we're trying to do in this series is we find these tokens early enough. We decide to go ahead and watch them through the alerts, take an entry if that's something you want to do, and there is possibility for gains. And I have highlighted several examples in this series. And we've been running this series, I think, what's today? Today's day 17. We've been running this series for 17 days straight. And throughout this series, there have been multiple examples where we have found tokens early. And this is all stuff that I do with you guys, live. I just go ahead and open up the computer. I go into Dexscreener. We put the filters in. I never know what it's going to be beforehand. And we just go ahead and we look around. Okay. And, according to the filters that we've set those alerts as indicators, and we discover stuff, so again, that is something that has been consistent, with this series. As we continue to do this series, we are finding stuff. There are gains that have been evidenced, through what I'm showing you, especially as we go through the reviews on tokens that we have found that we can point back to in prior videos in the series, and that really do highlight, the power of, when we go in discovery mode here in this series. So again, X cookie, even though the chart is bottomed out now and you're still getting some buys, but more sells than buys, the fact of the matter is it took off, from an early market cap, and they were pretty decent gains. And even if you got in on this one, if you chose to follow this one, and you got in on this one late, even at 400K, it still would have been, gains for you, because again, the high, was 1.2, almost 1.2 million on this one. So wanted to highlight that one to you, because here we are, even though, okay, so I even marked it here, in this image, that at this high point, it was at 1.24 million. Okay, and this was one that I highlighted this yesterday when I saw it at 372K. So I didn't take an entry in this because I was busy yesterday. But either way, this one, even when I spotted at 372, it was still on the way up. So, or not on the way up, it was on the way down. But either way, so I take that statement back. I didn't spot it early enough to go ahead and decide to jump in and take advantage of it, but like I said, I was busy yesterday. But either way, this chart, it looked pretty good at the, considering the fact that, this was the high point. Because I think what happened was I ended up looking at my phone because when you look at the Dexscreener on your phone and you look at the alerts, what your phone will actually show you the alert, and it will show you the current market cap and any, pluses or minuses, on your, I think 1 hour and 6 hour, I think. Okay. On those time slots. But when you look at it on a desktop, it doesn't give you that information. But when you look at it on the mobile device and you check your alerts, it gives you more information, where you can quickly scroll through your alerts to see, where the current market cap is and where you from where you posted, the actual alert. So, but either way, just want to go ahead and highlight that to you. So, but with that being said, that's going to do it for the review portion, of this video. And then I'm going to go ahead and pause this real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll do the discovery. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at our filters, and let's see what we want to take a look at today. Tell you what, let's see what's going on in Ethereum today. I'm going to go ahead and choose Uniswap. Here we go. So let's save that. And liquidity. We don't ever touch liquidity. Market cap. We're going to go ahead and go with 50,000. Since we're just looking at one chain, let's go out to 500,000. Pair age. Let's see what's going on. Let's do 10 hours to, I don't know, 40 hours. And we're going to go 10%, on the 24-hour change. And apply. So what do we get? So we're loading. Sorry, this is a little bit slower just because I am on a different connection here at my parents' home since I did travel, for the holidays to see them. So we're going to pause this real quick while this is trying to load. Okay, so finally got that resolved. But yeah, my home connection is, my own home connection is much, much faster than my parents' home connection is, but it's okay. With that said, gonna go, okay, so we've already got this checked, on the 24-hour. So you can see sometimes when you're focusing on just one chain, you don't get as many tokens as you would, focusing on multiple chains, but either way, that's okay. Again, remember, we can always adjust our filters. We went to 10 to 48 hours, 40 hours. We can always adjust that to something else. And, we may see more tokens. We can also always adjust the market cap, to generate more tokens as well. Okay, so with that being said, we've got 5 tokens. We're going to look at 4 because this one is more than likely a scam. So I've told you guys many times, when we look at those with a question mark, you don't get the socials, this straight candle, some of these buys in here, pretty suspect, so this is likely a scam, especially after 20 hours. This is what your candle looks like. Definitely not what we're looking for. So, all right, so we're going to close that out. So we're going to open these other ones here, okay, and let's see what we got going on. All right, so, and I put this on the 5-minute. That might have been, we might need to adjust that. So there we go. So yeah, man, would have liked to have found this one down here, right? So, okay, we're going to go ahead and adjust that chart here. This is Elon Raid. Okay, and then this one, Sad Dog. All right, I think I'm going to move this one to 15 minutes. Okay, yeah, that looks better. Okay, so the charts don't look terrible. We want to also make sure we got at least a telegram here. So we do on this one, we do here, we do here, and we do here. Okay, so good. So we're going to take a look, at these and see what's going on in their respective channels before we make any kind of decision on whether we want to set some alerts. So here we go. Let's jump into this one. This is Feels Guy. Okay, so here we go. And we're joining their channel. Let's see what we got. Just over 700 members in here. Okay, so let's see when the last buy was on this one. Okay. When's the last buy? So the last buy was at 8:33. That was a minute ago. All right, so let's check to see what's going on here in the pinned messages. Anything going on? Okay, so I don't really see anything in terms of rating or what they're doing for. Okay, so this is a boost. So they did pay for a boost. Okay, and they did do some trending at some point. So yeah, so that's good to see that they got at least that going on. Here in this particular token. So currently they're sitting at 429. On their market cap, 429K. For this one, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the chart, and obviously they sat at this bottom level, for a little while, before it actually started to take off, So there was definitely time, to take an entry in this one, if you were somebody that was, looking for some opportunities, through Dexscreener, and maybe came across this one because obviously this was yesterday, so didn't look like, and they didn't really make. Let's see here, yeah. They didn't start, this run didn't happen until today, early today, early in the morning. And I mean, it's after, it's early morning, for me. But like I said, this one obviously took place super early this morning, or took off. And I mean, We know the current market cap right now is 429. It looks like it touched, basically 1.5 million, on this. So yeah, good movement on it. Now they're obviously in retracement mode because after you get a buy candle, way up here like this, I mean, there's going to be some retracement, a lot of retracement. But do I think that it could retrace more? I think it's a possibility. I honestly do. Do I think it's going to make another run today, Christmas Day? I'm not guessing that. I definitely could be wrong, but I'm not. I wouldn't. I'd be very speculative, as to whether it could make another run like this, today. Just because I think, a lot of people with their families, and trading's not going to be something that placing a huge, emphasis and focus on, for today. Now, obviously, after the festivities are over, maybe later on tonight, may start to go ahead and see more tokens start to move, but yeah. So this is obviously one I think I'd want to watch. So we're going to go straight to market cap. We're going to set that under alert, so we're at 444. I think I'd want to, see something, maybe an indicator at 400K for this one. Or actually it's saying 436. So yeah, I mean, so it's going down. But like I said, I don't know. We'll see if it triggers, at that 400. So there we go. We're going to create that alert. And then for the over, let's see here. This is 430. Oh, actually, sorry guys. For the over, let's say 460. 460 as an indicator, as to whether this one moves, where this one could be going. Okay. So yeah, and not, huge deviations, from the posted market cap, on those alerts. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Cabal here, again, lower levels, for a minute. And then it seemed like it started to take off early morning on this one. Did really well. Definitely touching, looks like, let me go ahead and bring this down a bit. Looks like around 140K, okay? Because we're sitting currently at 88K. So, and this was the peak, so you can see, right across here, you can see we're looking at about 146. So, let's see what's going on in the channel before I make any decisions in regards to setting any alerts. Okay, so we're going to quick start there, and let's see what's going on. Okay, so when's the last buy on this one? They're trending, okay. And so that was at 8:37, so basically a minute ago. Okay, token sniffer, perfect score. Okay, so they've got some stuff going on here in the pin messages. So again, I mean, obviously, and this was Dexscreener hot pairs, so they are trying to go ahead and increase the exposure, on this token, So do I think it could go down? Yeah, I mean, I still think it could go down, but do I think, that there's a possibility, for it to go up? Absolutely. I do believe that as well. So, but again, this is all speculation, right? I always tell you guys, possible, it's possible, there's a chance, I'm always prefacing what I say with that. So let's see here. So our posted market cap, we're going to go with 80, we're going to go with 88K, and oops, I got to change this market cap. Sorry about that. And we're going to go to the over. Let's make it, 110. All right. So there we go on the over, and then on the under, let's set this at 88K. Oops, there we go. Come on, there we go. For the under, let's set this at, it's going to be a larger deviation, but I'm just kind of curious. Let's see if it goes at 50, okay? So some of you might think that might be a little bit too low, especially since it's still currently trending, but I don't know. I think I feel comfortable with 50. So we're going to set it at 50. Could be right, could be wrong. So we'll just see. Okay, so there we go on that one. Here for Elon Raids Mars, we're going to take a look, at the channel, see what they got going on in there. Okay, so we got a portal. We're going to click start here. There we go. Got just over 1,100 members in the group. So we see they got some raids going on. Okay, so what's this? What is this? Okay, so trending on Dexscreener. So that's encouraging to see that. Okay. And lots of pinned messages, paid for a boost, as well. So there's that. Okay, so, for this one, kind of interested. Do I think it's going to retrace more? I think this is kind of one of those risky areas for people. I think if there are any buys, it's going to be kind of like a toe dip, where, you get a small buy just to go ahead and kind of see what are people interested in doing. Are they interested in selling it off? Or are they interested, in trying to move this one back up? So I think I'm more interested in the under alert, here, but because I think that there's a possibility it could continue to retrace, honestly. So we're sitting at 153K, on the market cap. So here we are, 153K, and let's see here. So this one, I'm going to set this at 110. So larger deviation, but that's just kind of where I think it might be headed. Okay, so we're setting that there. And then for the over, I will set an over on this one, 153K. And for the over, we're going to, again, we're looking for an indicator here, okay? So I don't really want a small deviation here because, again, small deviation, could mean maybe it gets to 165, and then you got somebody that's really just losing patience on this one and decides to go ahead and dump it, even below, this posted market cap, that we're currently looking at right now. So I want to see that there can be buys, but people aren't willing to just go ahead and dump on the buys. So this is going to be a bit larger deviation, from the posted market cap. So we're going to say 190 on this one. Okay. So that's my thought process, as I set this alert on this one. Okay. So we're going to leave this one alone. And sad dog here. So we're sitting at 320. Let's take a look. What's going on in the channel. Okay. So we get a portal. Great. This looks like it could be Matt Fury. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Is this a Matt Fury? Oh, and they're currently trending. Okay. I don't know. I have no idea. So this is, okay, so they are trending live on Dexscreener all day. Okay. So that's pretty cool. So they paid for ads. So this one's going to be getting some attention today. So right away, I think this one is definitely one to watch. Okay. So they're trying to continue to keep pressure, buy pressure on this one. They're trying to keep attention, on this one. So, I consider those to be some pretty good moves, by the team in terms of growth and exposure, of this particular token. So again, we're looking at 322 on this one. We're going to go to the market cap. So I'm actually looking for more retracement on this one, honestly. So deviation is not going to be too heavy. We're going to go ahead and set this at 300K just because there is so much attention on this one in terms of, trending, the ads, and whatever else they may be doing, for this one. So I don't know that this one's going to dip too hard, but, again, I could be wrong. So, all right, so we're at 322. Again, this is just going to be our indicator. So there we go. This is for the under. And then for the over, let's do, this is at 322K. For the over, what are we looking for? Our deviation is not going to be too crazy on this one. So we're going to set it at 350. All right, so there we go for that one. Okay, so there we go. We've set those, 2 alerts, and so we're going to leave that alone. All right, so give me 1 second. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to go back out here, and let's see here. We're going to set some new filters. So we're at 50 to 500,000. You know what? We're going to keep that 50 to 500,000. Because again, guys, I'm doing this on the fly. So we're going to move from that 40 hour. So we're going to go to 45 hours to 120 hours. Okay. And we're going to see if we get anything else. Okay. So we already looked at Thera. I think we've already looked at this one before as well. DEC token, we haven't looked at this one. So I want to see what's going on here. DEC token. All right, just waiting for the chart. Okay, so, the chart doesn't look terrible. Let's see. This is on the 15-minute. Okay. All right, so we're going to take a look, at the channel, see what we got going here. At least I don't think we've taken a look at this one. It's not triggering anything in my mind that we've actually looked at this. Trying to see if we get a portal here. I am not seeing a portal. No portal. So this is just, this is the channel. So right away, this is a no for me because that's not, you always want to see a portal. You always want to see a portal. So, okay. So either way, let's go back to, let's close out of this. Okay. So we're out of here. And what we're going to do, we're going to move over to Solana at this point. Okay. And we're going to see maybe take a look at a, I don't know, 1 to 3 tokens on that chain, and then we'll call it a day on this one. So at least I think that might be the plan. Okay, so here we go, Solana, Radium, here we go, let's save it. So 50 to 500, sure, we'll keep that, and we'll also go back to our 10 to 40, just like we did on ETH, okay? And there we go, let's see what this one pulls up. Okay, so we got a bunch here, not interested in looking at all that. So we'll look at a Christmas one here, Unicorn, Solana Dust, sure, Lara, sure, why not? And Flappy. You know what, baby Jesus, how about that one? So, okay, here we go. Let's see what we got going on. So the chart looks pretty decent here. We get a telegram here, great. Chart looks like it's on the upswing. And, we get a telegram here. Lara, Lester's wife. Okay, don't know anything about that one. Okay, so we get a telegram here. And we don't get a telegram on baby Jesus. So we're going to close that one. All right. So, and we just saw another buy come in on this one. So let's take a look, here. This one looks kind of interesting. Now we'll see if anything checks out. So nothing going on. Okay, there we go. We get a portal. I'm about to say, man, no portal on this one either. Okay, and that's interesting. So we don't get, even clicking the portal, you don't get anything. So let's go back out here. Let's try this again and let's see. All right, there's our portal. Let's click start again, and let's see. Let's try, see if it gives me that other window. Okay, so it's giving me this window. Maybe we can get in. Maybe. Nope, nothing. So this is one that we're going to leave alone because it's kind of like you see a portal, but it's not really a portal. So we can't access this one. So I'm going to leave this one alone. Okay, so this one, USD, I like the ticker, Unicorn Solana Dust. So I think that's kind of clever. And you can see, like, the buy transactions, I mean, they're coming in. They are coming in. So we're going to actually move out to the 5 minute on this one. So, okay, let's take a look and see what's going on here in the channel. Okay, so we get a portal here. Start, and we get our link here. Okay, so this one we can actually join. We get over 2,000 members in here. So yeah, this one is busy. And we got some raids going on here. Okay, so good activity, looks like, so they're trying to grow the exposure of this token. So yeah, but not a lot going on here. Okay, but I do like the artwork. Okay, so but either way, I mean, it looks like, they're working, on this one, trying to go ahead and get this one some exposure. So I do like what I'm seeing as far as that's concerned. So this one, we just saw it was at like -12, -13 on the 5 minute before we went to check out the channel. But again, the buys are still coming in, which, like I said, that's encouraging. And it looks, like it's pretty balanced, so in terms of your buys and your sells. So do I think this one could retrace from here? Sure, I do. We're currently sitting at 404 according to what information we see on the right-hand side in that panel. So that's where we're going to set that at. Okay, so 404, we're going to go to 350K. Because where there are buys and there's always going to be sells, so 350K might not be, too bad in terms of the deviation from the posted market cap. So, but we want to set this for the under. Okay. All right. So for once, I finally caught that right. And over, here we go. This is at 404. And I know this changed, but we're going to keep it at 404. And we're going to set this one at, 440. Okay. I hope that's right. Okay, so there we go. So we set those 2 alerts, but I like what's going on here. So that's just my personal opinion there. And then for Lara, let's check out what's going on here. We get a telegram, currently sitting at 478 on the market cap. So do we get a portal? It looks like this is actually the main telegram channel. So no portal on this one. Not really seeing any trending. I don't see any rating going on, nothing there. We get an X, their Twitter account, status there. But I don't see anything that they're doing in terms of trying to move this token yet, So yeah, and let's go back down here and let's see. The last buy was at 850. That was literally a minute ago. So yeah, this one, I mean, we can keep an eye on it, but I don't see that they're doing anything, as far as exposure. But again, we saw that with the Scott token too. That one continued to go up. So again, who knows? We'll see how that goes. how it goes here. So on the under, we're at 471. Let's set an under alert first, so 471. Okay, and we're going to set this one. I'm actually going to go for the larger deviation, so we're going to go to 400 on this one. So I know that is a large deviation. And so on the over, 471, we will set this at actually just 500. So 471K, and we're going to set it at 500. Because I'm looking for more of a retracement on this one than for this one to continue to go up. So